Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me today because this video I've been quite excited to make. Also, maybe I'm going to get a little bit mad during the filming of this video because it's something that usually happens when you're quite invested in something, and I think we can all agree I'm quite invested in plastic. So let's talk about this. Recently on Facebook I had a severe disappointment experience because I saw the Danish broadcasting system DR, and they made a video about, I think I'll try to link it down below if you want to see it. It's in Danish, so probably a lot of you won't be able to deduct anything from it, but it's quite important still. And they made this video where they talk about plastic and plastic packaged greens, and they sort of stated that a plastic wrapped cucumber can keep in the fridge for many days, and a non-plastic wrapped cucumber can only keep for about 3 days, which is absolute bollocks because I buy non-plastic wrapped cucumbers all the time and they keep up to a week. I don't know where they get their information. I don't know what their focus groups or what kind of varieties happened during their experiment, but it's not true. Definitely not. And generally it was just a video that sort of greenwashed the idea that plastic is actually a good material as long as it's recycled. That was their main point. Firstly, that's disappointing because they're supposed to be journalists and not biased in this sort of way. And also they talk about plastic is fine as long as it's recyclable or as long as it's recycled. Discourse, which I really hate because it sounds like plastic is a product that you can just recycle indefinitely, and I think many people do not realize that's not really the truth. You can only recycle plastic a number of times, 2 or 3 mostly, and then it will end up in landfill, and every time you need to recycle plastic you need to add new plastic to it, otherwise you can't recycle it. So no, it's not a sustainable practice. Plastic is not good as long as it's recycled because it will always support the industry of new plastic. That's why it's not important. That's not the reason I'm mad though, although it should be. But in this video, the dear Uffe Elbæk, who is a Danish politician that's very eco-conscious and very aware and very talkative and verbal about the problems in our environment and in our society. He's a really nice guy. He was in the video and he said as well, plastic is a great material as long as it can be recycled, and I was done. I was done, y'all. I don't know why I turned southern, but it was just so disappointing to see. And because of this video, because the video is not the entire problem, it's just a representation of the problem, I just thought I wanted to talk about the green alibi, which I think is just such an important aspect of eco-consciousness. By the way, this is not me saying whatever you try to do, whenever you try to be sustainable but it doesn't really happen, you're a failure. That's not at all the point, because we all need to get there at some point and we all need to do it in our own pace and everything. It's fine. But when you excuse your actions by using words like green or recyclable, when you excuse your actions and do or support unsustainable practices, that's not okay, I think. And the green alibi, if I should just briefly try to describe it, is when you do one sustainable thing and that okays a ton of other practices that are not sustainable. For instance, like I think most alternatives to plastic bags that are compostable plastic, maybe there are some varieties that work fine, but I have not encountered them yet. And I think the compostable plastic bags are sort of a green alibi because it still supports the practice that we use a thing once and throw it away. It's a representation of the whole way our system and our society works, and I think that's too bad. I think instead we should try to develop new ideas and new alternatives that are in fact breaking with these practices that we all support. Therefore, green alibi, for me, I think I would define it as greenwashing and greenwashing your decisions. Telling yourself and telling others that what you do is sustainable when it's actually not. It's also something like driving a hybrid car and then buying new clothes from H&M every day. It's a green alibi in this way becomes sort of an excuse to do other things that aren't sustainable because I did this. And it's not like working out and having a piece of cake. It's not the way it works really, because instead we need to focus on trying to make a shift in the whole way our system works. And the only way to do that is, as consumers, we try to make a difference, because I've talked about this thousands of times as well, but the consumer, the single individual, has such a huge power, and we don't even always realize it. We don't even always, which is a fine grammatical structure. But we do not realize how much power we actually have, and if we stop purchasing a specific product, the firm or the company will definitely try to figure out how they can get us to buy it again. And sometimes that's by reducing packaging, by removing animal products, by, you know, whatever. But the only way we will get them to do that is if we stop buying the products. That's just really, really simple. But this video, let's just go back to it for a second. It really pissed me off. I was just so disappointed, because it seems that politicians, and especially a politician that's so into green living and sustainability, would know how plastic is recycled. But in this video, it surely seemed like he had no idea what happens when plastic is recycled. It was so sad and so awful. Another thing about plastic recycling is that at some point, as I said, it will end up in landfill. However, in Denmark, we don't really have landfills because we burn our trash instead. And I just talked with Camilla from Bless You, which is an awesome site, plastic-free alternatives to household items. But we made this live stream together. She said something that was so interesting and so frightening, because she wondered what happens to the filters, because we usually talk about, we have these micro filters that are in the chimneys, and when you burn stuff, all the bad things are caught and doesn't get out in the air, you know, you get me? Great. I don't have the exact mechanical terms for these items, so I'm just going to talk about it like, I don't know. But she wanted to know what happens to the filters. Are they burned themselves? Are they buried down somewhere? Because sometimes we bury our trash down whilst we have no idea the effect of it, which is also frightening AF. But she got in touch with tons of recycling station, plastic manufacturers, all these sort of people that know stuff. And none of them wanted to give her an answer. None of them wanted to talk to her or tell her what actually happens. But I think it's a really common question, or it should be at least a really common question. Nosage. Mid-rand. But I was just stunned by the fact that this industry is so closed in regard to information that is not so glamorous. Instead, we promote this industry by saying it's fine as long as it's recycled, while it's really not. And this green alibi is something that I see almost every day. Also in terms of greenwashing, I've talked about it before, how to avoid greenwashing sort of. I'll link the video down below afterwards so you can go and see it. But when companies, or when people actually use words like green, eco, organic, compostable, these sort of words, it's just so important to remember that you don't need any certificates or any proof or evidence that this product actually belongs in this category. You can just use these words, you know, without charge, so to speak, you know? You can say this without having to prove a thing. And that's why I'm so cautious when looking at new sustainable products, because some of them are simply just made for people to feel better and feel like they're doing something while they're just supporting the same practice. It's just in a new suit. Sometimes it's just really, really difficult, but I just really wanted to tell you guys, because I've learned something, I've been disappointed lately, and that's enough content to make a video. So here we are. But that was just all I really wanted to say, and just really try to make people aware if they're supporting a greenwashing practice, or if they are utilizing a green alibi in their everyday life, and how they may be able to break this. And the first step towards realizing stuff like this is by being reflective of how you do stuff in your everyday life, and being self-critical about what you do and why you do it. Is it because it's necessary, or is it because it's habit? If it's just a habit, then you can easily break it and you can do something different. And that's why I have this channel. That's why I have guides to almost everything. So if you're interested in trying to break these practices, I sincerely hope that you are. But I have tons of videos, and if you want to, you can go and check them out. And that's actually all I wanted to say. If you really like this video, you can leave me a thumbs up, and you can tell me down below if you have encountered any greenwashing or a green alibi, or if a politician who you admired really disappointed you lately. Also, I've linked every social media account down below if you want to follow me on these platforms. I usually use Instagram on a daily basis as well, so if you want to do that, it's fine. Also, subscribe to this channel. That would make my day. I would be so happy. And see you guys in my next video. Bye!